There you go.
Welcome back to Real Talk Reviews, this time with the Tour Dynam-X from Roto. This ball is 247, 026 with an 010 intermediate diff. Has a little bit of reminiscence of the Rubicon core. Fairly strong cover. This is a 4.5 inch pin, 5 inch for the 4.5 by 5 by 3. And so it's kind of strong. I think this one may be a urethane killer. Let's find out. Oh. Wow. Well, we're not going to set any records based off that one. When Simonson does it, he makes it every time. How come I don't? As usual, we're here at AMF Louisville, a Elder high lineage HPL surface. Wood approaches, it is a fresh lane condition today, but so what strikes me most is this solid cover is fairly strong. It's only got 2000 as the finish, so it's not it's not super gritty right out of the box. But it's very controllable. And so I think there's a couple of ways to use this. Obviously, higher rev rate players will use it to control the lane a little bit because it doesn't flare so much. But with the new urethane rules coming into play for 2024, we may have to find some different ways to use and different balls to use on the short patterns. So this is obviously an easier one. It's not really cheetah. But as you can see, this is way closer to the friction than I normally am able to play. Seems to continue nice. We've thrown a couple up against it. We'll move left a little bit now and give it a look. Later on, I'm going to throw it up against a pitch black so you get an idea what that looks like. We'll move like 5 left here and see what happens. So it's capable of doing more than one thing. That's good news too. I know a guy who laid out this one behind the camera, our U21 Pan American team member. Now I'll go ahead and rotate one. And that's where I see it also being useful, where you don't want to necessarily cross zones so much. You need to get it going a little left to right. I'll throw it slow and we'll see if we can go ahead and cross all the zones and get all the way to the gutter or not. No rotation, just kind of slow. It's better than expected. Sean Ryan, look out. Again, this is a 4.5 inch pin just to the right of my bridge. My axis point's 4 5/8 up 5/8. So go back to the right a little. So if you're somebody who likes control, is really looking for control, this ball has a very good chance of being something in your arsenal. And that control can be because you're a two-hander and you're a little bit rev dominant that way. Or it can be because, you know, maybe your speed's down a little bit, or you have a trouble creating ball speed and you need something that hits, but it's got to be controllable for you. So again, Tour Dynam-X, it's a low RG ball, it's a low flare ball, less than 030, and just a little bit of asymmetry, which will let it kick down lane. And we'll kind of maximize this one out and see what it does. I would say that's pretty much max flare potential or max hook potential for that ball. But for something on wet dry, something on short patterns, people who struggle to see their ball stay right of the head pin, I think this is going to be a really usable option. That's a little too firm. So I'll go ahead and reset that, and we'll throw one more from the right with a little less hand. And see how much we can really knuckle one up the lane. But I see this in the future being a real option on short patterns in place of urethane. Continues pretty nice. Tour Dynam-X from Roto Grip. Urethane killer? Now, balls we're going to throw up against this is a Cosmos 2-inch pin, something else I might use on short or to really control the lane. We'll stay in the same place and see what it looks like. That didn't get very far to the right. Another ball I might throw on urethane or on a shorter pattern, a pitch black. It's a pretty strong drilling here. This is almost a leverage drilling. We'll stay in the same spot again. You can see how early urethane can hook. 2-inch pin Cosmos again. And you can see that both those balls are way earlier than the Tour Dynam-X. They're trying to control the back end of the lane, but in a different way. We'll throw the urethane again. This time I'll throw a little firmer. The main difference you see, the pitch black's going to be earlier, a little less down lane, where the Tour Dynam-X was a pretty smooth continual motion all the way through. Now, last ball I want to throw up against it is an IQ Emerald. Slightly weaker, about a 1/2 inch weaker than the drill on the Tour Dynam-X. And really the only similarity between those two balls is that they both don't flare very much. Core-wise, they're very similar, but the Emerald cover is longer, snappier. I think this Tour Dynam-X has a good spot, and it's really going to be as a control ball, controlling that wet dry, using the friction that's on the lane. And be able to keep your angles a little bit closer to you. You might be onto something there with that bit laying out balls. Now if we just get in to drill them. Well, and there you have it. The Tour Dynam-X from Roto Grip. Coming to you in August. Like I said, 4.5 by 5 by 3. 247, 026, 010 intermediate diff. I think this one's really for people who struggle with ball speed, struggle with control, and want something to even out the wet dry. So look for this ball coming to you from Roto Grip. Tune in for this and more Real Talk reviews on YouTube. Like and subscribe.